Bobby, and we will get rolling. All right, let's see if he's around. Okay. Okay. Let me get, I'll put FanDuel up on my screen here. Not a very good golf slate for me. Just for my own stupidity, not stupidity, I guess laziness. I basically had Patrick Reed in about 50% of my lineups. So that was the end of that. And I had Tyrrell Hatton in a whole bunch of them too. So unfortunately, hopefully people took my advice. I mean, I have 70% fee now, which I thought was a tremendous play. And I did mention that if you're going to play anybody over 10K, it was going to be Rahm. So hopefully you guys picked up on that and are doing better in golf than I am. It wouldn't be very difficult. Okay. John Doe is asking, are the Blue Jays going to be a low-owned somehow? I don't know. I hope so. So I think I have a decent amount of them. I'm going to tell you what I did, by the way. I actually have them being somewhat popular. I have them as being the second chalkiest team, Toronto. But what do I know? I'm with you, John. I like them. I can get to them. And I think because I can get to them, that's one of the reasons why they are somewhat popular. I have a couple of semi-public service announcements. I was going to wait till Bobby shows up for those. There he is. I see him. There he is. There he is.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I'm sweating profusely because the sun just popped out and it's burning up there. Sheets, go to your public service announcements.
Oh, okay. Public service announcements. First, good news. So we just did a 1-hour soccer video with me and Chan, where I asked all the questions, which well, not all of them, but some of the questions that were on my mind about how to play DFS soccer. And we talked about that, and then we went over the slate. For those of you who are interested in playing EPL, he's going to be a really, really good resource for you guys. So I would take a look at those videos, get on the Discord. I also am putting up projection sheets for soccer as well. That actually flows into my next announcement. Okay, so that's good news. Well, good news for me. I'm going away for a couple of days, and my content is going to be very limited. I'm going to do my best to get whatever projections I can up, but I can't promise much. And anything that I do put up, we'll just consider it a bonus. I'm probably not going to be available on the recordings through Tuesday, but you guys are sick of listening to me anyway. Between Bobby and whoever else we can get to come on in, and Chan will be doing soccer and LOL, and Bobby will figure out a way to make it work. So with that said, again, I did put up an MMA video for tomorrow night's slate, and that one's going to be wild. I'm telling you, you guys should play some lineups. Someone's going to take it down by themselves. I don't know who it's going to be, but someone's going to take that down. So it is a kind of a wild GPP slate, in my opinion. I did put up truck series for NASCAR tonight, and again, that's about. I'll do the best I can. Depends on when I can wake up and what I can accomplish. So you want to get into the baseball, Bobby? Who do you like tonight?
Pretty much the same as usual. Before, I've been very harnessed in on. I have a lot of 2-3 late man Yankee stacks, but mostly it's Atlanta and Toronto are my favorites. Toronto is the team I have the most exposure to on both sides. I like everybody 1 through 9 of their lineup, especially 1 through 8. I'm even playing some Kevin Smith in some big tournaments. I really, really like them. I like St. Louis as a mini stack and a full stack on FanDuel. I like Colorado as a secondary stack, but it's going to be a lot of Toronto, and I'm going to be stacking it every which way. I'm using them as full stacks, 5 men, 3 men, 4 men. I really like Toronto tonight, so that's what I'm going heavy on. And I'm trying to get creative by like playing Kirk on FanDuel rather than DraftKings. Not too creative, just get a little different with it. And you can actually find ways to stack Atlanta and Toronto together, and I like that quite a bit. So that's what I'm pretty focused in on. How about you?
Yeah, so I'm just going to read off my exposures, make it nice and easier, make it easier that way. On DraftKings, hitting wise, what I did was, regardless of what my projections said, regardless of what Saberson built for me, I decided I was going to X out Arizona. That was going to be the one team I was going to force out, regardless of anything else. And that's the way that I was able to accomplish my kind of like for Gomber. I ended up not playing Gomber straight up, but the way I played Gomber was by Xing out Arizona. To wit, what that left me was I probably have almost 50% Toronto on DraftKings, pretty much across the board. Semien is probably my highest owned, and then I also have a lot of Yankees, as I mentioned in the earlier show. So Toronto, the Yankees, Colorado, those are my 3 teams. And not to disappoint you guys, I did stand by my leverage play, and I have a pretty decent amount of the Giants. So that's on DraftKings. Those are the hittings. I'm going to be Giants, Yankees, Toronto, Colorado, Xing out Arizona. And as far as pitching goes, much less complicated. I ended up going with the chalk. I have Robbie Ray, Sonny Gray, Chris Sale. I did not get to, after all of that talk, I did not get to Giolito. And I also didn't even get to Snell. I went to the. I ended up with the chalkier plays at DK. Not that I don't like those others. I just didn't get to them.
Yeah, I guess I made that. We're similar play. I have 40% Sale, 55% Gray on DraftKings, 44% Robbie Ray, 15% Giolito, 37% Snell. That's pretty much my DraftKings pitcher pool. I think I'm going to try to force Gomber into one lineup here.
Okay.
I just think that it's too good of a play if it works out. It could very much break our way, and we'd be feeling like idiots. And I don't want to feel like an idiot today. I also really like my other big fear. I do have in my 250. I'm stacking the Dodgers, but other than that, I didn't really have much of them except for I love Seager as a one-off on FanDuel, which I don't think is going to be anything revolutionary. But on FanDuel, my pitchers are McCullers and Ray, almost exclusively. McCullers, Ray, and Gray. I really feel weird about not playing any Buehler, but I'm just going to have to suck it up and live with it. I feel like he's the safest, but probably doesn't win it for you with a 40-plus fantasy point game on DraftKings or a 60-plus on FanDuel. But it's in there. It's in his repertoire, so it's a little bit worrisome. I have an unhealthy amount of Lars Nootbaar, which is just, of course, you'd expect it. How could you not play Lars Nootbaar?
Is he the guy in the MMA card tomorrow? or was he in the hockey slate?
He's the guy from St. Louis who makes all my stacks work. I'll tell you that. And I have a lot of 2 and 3 man with Tyler O'Neill are really cheap. Tommy Edman. I like Paul DeJong on FanDuel. Even batting 7th. I just think there's power upside. I really want to try to attack these spots this time of the year on teams that don't have anything else to play for and are really, really just letting it fly like the Pirates are. And we've seen them in, it's not like they've been lit up every single game. They are losing every single game, but they've had those extreme huge blowups a few times. and I kind of want to try and capitalize on that which is what's giving me some Newt Bar in my stacks there. So also really like Wilson Ramos as a one-off. I do have 25% Pozo against Chris Sale, where I'm not playing Chris Sale. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to get a little less Newt Bar and probably a little more Tyler Naquin, just because my lineups I think are clever or creative enough to where I don't need to get. I think Naquin's a better play at 2,300. And I probably, unless I'm making more than a 3-man for a 2-man stack, there's no reason to play Newt Bar over, which is what I've got currently in my big one. No reason for me to play Newt Bar over, Tyler Naquin.
The other thing I would say, by the way, is that I am also true to my my numbers from earlier as well, in that I am getting those Minnesota value guys throughout my lineups. And you know who I have like 30% of? A guy, not from Minnesota, but one of the guys you mentioned earlier with the Kevin Smith.
Yep. I've got 60% of him on DraftKings right now.
And there you have it.
Well, that's making me a little nervous. The guy had some power in the minor leagues. That's enough for me. I mean, in this stack, the problem is there's so many good ways to stack this Toronto team. You know what I mean? Every time I try and do it, I find it really easy to fit 7 of them in my lineups. Yeah. And you know me, I'm the guy who usually likes to do the 4-2, all this stuff. I just want to hammer this Toronto situation. So I'm actually just sort of redoing it many different ways rather than getting – look, I'm going to miss out on some Colorado. I'm going to miss out on some Dodgers. But I really like when I focus in. And lately, by the way, the best results I had, even the other night, oddly enough, my team only scored 4 runs that I was really focused in on. But all the good wins I seem to have are when I really do dial in these days. And I want to dial in mostly on Toronto with some Atlanta, St. Louis situation, picking up some of those situations. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I did notice one thing that I have on FanDuel, which I need to get rid of. I don't believe that is wise to have any Mikolas on FanDuel.
On FanDuel, I agree. I think he's a creative, interesting play on DraftKings. Yeah. I'm not getting there a ton myself. Sorry.
I just don't think he has that 6-inning upside today.
Yeah, I think you're right. The weird part is, though, he's so efficient with his pitches and he never walks anybody that against the Pirates, maybe you could counter that. I don't know. It's a tricky one.
Who would you rather play at that price, Mikolas or Elsie or Hernandez?
Hernandez.
All right. Well, that's
but I don't really want either of them, to be honest.
No, of course not.
Yeah. No, of course not. Watch Hernandez go through a no-hitter today or something.
Yeah, but this is one with freaking Yankees and Colorado. You know what I mean? I can't.
Exactly.
Can't play actual pitchers with that.
No, I got you. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about the slate today. I just really think there's enough ways to stack this Toronto business to where we can make some money. So I'm excited about it. That's where I'm at. I really, really like them, and I like the Yankees. I like pieces of the Yankees to go with it. But I'm looking at Toronto's ownership right now, and what's weird is that I think you're gonna get low ownership on most of the guys I really like. At least under 15%. I really like Gurriel on both sites. He'll be lower owned on FanDuel, of course, because he's a little bit pricier over there. He's cheap on DraftKings. I really like. You can also use him at first base on DraftKings. I think that Vlad is going to be really low owned. I think Simeon's going to be popular. I think Kevin Smith won't be owned. I think that Bichette will have a little bit of ownership, but I really think it's going to be mostly Simeon and Kirk who have the ownership on DraftKings. And I'm very happy to not play as much of those guys as I do the other guys. And I love Simeon, but I'm happy to go the other way. I'm talking, I have pretty much every Toronto player at 40+%. And I don't, there's only one I'm missing is Espanol. And I'm playing on FanDuel a little bit. So I'm just gonna live and die with the Blue Jays tonight.
I also would like to say something else. I mean, we always have more time here than whatever it is. And before I have to go in maybe a little while or whatever, I maybe won't be around for a couple of days. I want to say something that I actually spent 5 minutes at the end of the soccer video saying. So if you guys don't watch the soccer video, when we started doing this, Bobby, however long ago, I don't even remember what I said. I said to you, I'm gonna do this as long as it's fun, right? That's if I'm not enjoying it. Whether it be whatever I do, and I am really enjoying this, you know, and I was, it was funny. I was talking to Chan at the end of the soccer thing. And I was recalling maybe back when we used to play poker back, you know, however long ago it was. And I would be playing 18 sit and go tables at the same time. Right. I mean, you know, again, my brain, I always had a little something else going on my whole life, you know, aside from my normal business. First it was chess, then it was backgammon, horses, and then it became poker. And I was thinking that when I was playing poker with 18 tables, if there was any suggestion that like 10 years later, however long later, I would be staring here with two monitors, and on one monitor on the left, I would be doing a Zoom video with somebody discussing daily fantasy soccer, while on the right monitor, I was sweating these guys playing a video game out of League of Legends China, basically cartoon characters. I'd be like, you got to be kidding me! But I am, but there, it's such an incredible challenge to my brain to like figure this stuff out, and to be able to kind of help other people try to do it satisfies that teaching aspect of what I'm doing also. So I'm really enjoying it. So you guys, as long as you guys still enjoy it, as long as the input remains strong, I'll keep doing this. And I'm just really having a good time. And maybe it was just when I started doing the other sports, it kind of helped a little bit. But that's about it.
No, I love it, man. That's great to hear. I'm having a good time as well. It's been a little bit of a weird time out here. I'll fill everybody in, let's just say, with what's been going on in my world at some point soon, because it certainly is a little bit strange. But it's been great doing it. I love that we're what we're doing, and even if it's only a small group of people right now that we have, I think we've made a good difference for a lot of them, and I hope we continue to keep doing so, and I hope that we keep having fun with it, and I think we have. And by the way, and I mean, on side note, not that you need to do this for any reason for money, but like you are crushing it overall. And you're good at sports things that I would have never have even thought to try, and something that when I get home, I'd like to really focus in more on.
And for the kids, this one's for the kids. Look at how much I'm winning in this tennis lineup.
Let's see.
Right? Kids still like that? They talk about that? Very good. See? You like that?
Oh, man, that's pretty funny. Yeah, they still talk about it, believe me.
Okay, very good. Very good.
It still fits.
It's still a thing? Okay.
Yeah. I might have to get out of the sun at some point in a minute, and for many reasons I can't go anywhere on the place I'm at without this thing. So this is the one time of the day I sort of take my mask off other than when I work out. So I might have to be out of here in just a few minutes, unfortunately, just because I'm getting melted. My skin.
Yeah, John. Unfortunately, I will tell you something, John. Let me tell you something about this boat. Bobby would have to. I can't imagine how many slates Bobby would really have to win to actually buy that boat. Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I'm not. I'm not. Nobody's buying that boat off of DFS winnings. I promise you.
I promise you that's true. Not awesome on anyway. That's absolutely true. It's sort of a timeshare, though. You got to think of it as a timeshare, basically, what we're dealing with. But yeah, even still, no one's timesharing it usually off that either. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. So, but I really like this. I really like this Friday slate, and I feel like this is we don't have any weather, right? We have nothing. Isn't that weird? Like, you remember the last time we didn't have like weather on a full slate? It feels like every time I do it, I just spend the whole time stressed out. There's nothing really to be too stressed about today.
Nope.
Of course, now something crazy is going to happen, and we're going to get effed. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope not.
I have to tell you that. I mean, only because you're part of it, you can't. I don't think you quite grasp the humor and the irony of it. But how ironic is it that you're on this boat with incredible weather, and you're basically like trapped.
It's really bad, man. And by the way, things are much worse than when they seem. This is my getaway time. So today, I'll just say this: today was the best day we've had so far. That thankfully there's nobody's too badly injured or sick today, which is a nice.
That's good.
Yeah, it's the first time in a while. It's been a stressful time, so I'm really enjoying getting away from it for at least a few minutes. Yeah. I'm gonna crack open a beer when we're done with this, and celebrate the first day of some negative. We'll talk about some other time.
Okay.
I keep accidentally almost saying.
Well, you know what you could do? You could get to work on Crane.
That's true. I could actually give Crane a call. Then that opens up a whole nother stress thing, though. And I love Creighton, but
yeah, I get it.
I'm just I'm half joking.
I get it.
But yeah, I mean, guys, I hope everybody crushes it tonight. I probably am going to bounce in just a minute, although it feels like it's kind of a shame to do so. I kind of know what I want to do. I'm happy to just hang here and talk. It doesn't look like there's too many questions in chat. We got K9 Bronco loving the Brew Crew. I'm totally like on a, if I was playing 150, I definitely would have thought about some brewers. I just didn't get there today, but I understand it. Certainly, you get to the roof is open, the ball will be flying on a slate, a smaller slate where I didn't love some other spots. Absolutely, I would be doing it. So go ahead and do it. No reason why that couldn't come in for you tonight. Yeah, I mean, if there's any other questions or thoughts too, guys, pop them on in. It doesn't look like we have as many. I don't know how many people actually, because I'm not on the YouTube channel right now, but usually we get a little more chat. We don't have in there.
It's the Sabbath.
Oh, okay. There you go. I didn't realize. We also don't have Rody because we have to wish Rody luck tomorrow. He's at the live final for FanDuel for a big one. So good luck to our guys.
Meanwhile, I've got issues with DraftKings right now. I'm really pissed off at Draft. So I was at Northern Trust yesterday at the golf tournament. Mm-hmm. And one thing about going to these golf tournaments is it's the most amazing experience to go to them. But man, is it hot, right? And it's a lot of walking, and it's really tiring. And it's nice to have access to like a tent, like an indoor tent or whatever it is. And all the big corporations have these big tents. If you want to pay a shitload of money for it, you can get into whatever. And I'm walking around dead freaking tired, and I see DraftKings has a tent there. Okay. DraftKings tent, whatever it is. And there was a free thing you could go up and whatever. And so, but there was also an indoor part of it for VIPs, whatever it is. So I actually emailed DraftKings from when I was there. And I'm like, hey, do you think you could get me in, whatever it is? They didn't even freaking respond. I am really
that is ridiculous
with them right now.
That's annoying. You know what? Next time, let me know that happens, man. I'll talk to you. Well, I'll send it to you anyway separately, my host information, because they've been pretty good about hooking me up with stuff like that, and that's really ridiculous. You play way too much in way too many different sports for them to not even respond. So we can straighten that one out.
Yeah.
But what was it? What was the so I actually didn't even. I feel good. Did you play golf? I didn't. What's happening in the golf? I didn't play.
I went over this earlier. I had 60% Patrick Reed. I didn't even realize that he dropped out. I was in an Uber on the way to the tournament. I checked all my lineups before I left, and it was fine. And then after I left, I guess he announced that he was out. So those were dead. And then I had a whole bunch of Hatton, so that's dead. But like if anybody listened to me, one of my favorite plays is Finau. And then I also said, if you're going to play anyone over 10K, make sure it's Rahm. And so hopefully people did better than me. As I mentioned, it can't be that hard to do. So no, I did not do well in golf DFS this weekend.
I'm sorry to hear it, but well, on to bigger and better things anyway.
Onward, yes.
Tonight, yeah. I'm glad I didn't play because I just noticed that the guys. I was looking at the leaderboard, and I noticed the bottom of the leaderboard are the exact guys I probably would have been suggesting. I mean, the tournament, but they're just guys I generally play a little bit. I wouldn't even say too much. I think I've had actually pretty good luck with them. The more I'm just going through lineups and building right now, I just keep having this thought.
Yeah,
it would really, really be kind of sickening if the Dodgers went off tonight and I didn't have a little more.
I told you this.
I know. Every time you say it, it seems to come through. So I'm gonna actually just switch over to some Dodger stacks here, make sure to get a little bit more exposure than what I've currently got at the moment. And I'll do it with a Gomber just to go all.
Let's go.
All out on the things that we talked about earlier. I also said I was afraid of not having Bueller. You know what? There goes Bueller. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Just get a couple of those in there because I really do think the Dodgers. I mean, they're going to be so overlooked for absolutely zero reason. They scored 14 runs in basically this exact same spot a week ago. Now it was in New York and it was a little bit warmer and more humid, but I think we got to do this. Anyway, so I'm gonna make sure to get a little bit of that. Any other questions popping in there? Let's see. John's liking the Gomber idea. It feels weird, especially coming off the injury. But I just think that, we got a guy with upside at 5,900 who's put up, 25 plus in this spot, like in worse spots than this, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times this year. Why wouldn't we take a shot against the worst team in baseball?
Yep. I'm
just building here. Guys, let us know if there's any other stacks you're on that we're not thinking of, because I'm always happy to hear what other people are doing, even if it's not something I'm not going to change what I'm doing to go over to it, but I'm always curious.
Let's see this.
1, 2, 3. Oh no.
Happened.
I accidentally clicked the escape button when I had my Dodger stack almost done.
Oh my.
That's, usually a bad sign, but who cares? I'm not gonna worry too much about it. But yeah, that one night, I thought I was tilted. The next day we had plenty. It was a great, great realization that there's a lot more important things than these things when you get some other interesting news, which was really sad. I mean, we're not sad, but it's kind of scary for my family. But it was, I've never been so sure in a baseball tournament that I was going to win and the crazy part is it was the minimum I felt like I could have won was 50,000. The minimum. I was going to win the Grand Slam, and I was going to win the Monster pretty easily, I thought. But I actually made a pivot to switch off one player. I did a Will Smith for Brian Reynolds in one of my tournaments, and the one with Brian Reynolds ended up doing better. But I still thought I was going to win that one, and then I had 2 of the same entries of the original one with Brian Reynolds, needing only 4 more points to win the slam or whatever, but I only needed 8 more points to win the $3 for another 50,000. So there was a good shot at 120,000 off of literally, I kid you not, I think $500 in entry fees. It was really not on a small, not a small slate, but on I couldn't believe how that one finished up. My cousins were with me, and now since then they've been playing. Of course, they're converted now. They're playing DraftKings every day because of it.
Oh no.
So it's it could be a blessing in disguise that I didn't win more. I don't know. For that, although it seems like they're kind of chasing for me. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
That's what happens, I guess. But all right, let's see what we got. Sorry, I'm just gonna make sure I get this in. Did you play much Luke Voigt today? I'm guessing a lot of people are going to.
Yeah, I got 33% Luke Voigt.
I'm a little concerned. He did a press conference, okay, and it was kind of sad to watch because, he's actually making some good points in there. He's going, I think I deserve to play as much as Rizzo does. I did lead the league in home runs last year, and he's got a kind of a good point. Like, I think Rizzo's a really good all-around professional hitter. The Yankees need lefties. It all makes sense, but I don't think that Luke Voigt is like, if you give them a full season, why is Luke Voigt a worse player than Anthony Rizzo? So, but I do think there's some pinch hit risk, not necessarily for him, but like somebody else will be pinch hit and then he'll be taken out of the game. I could see that happening unless the Yankees jump out early.
I have an announcement to make, so I'll share with all you guys here. So I'll expand a little bit on this. So those of you that that say, oh, school's irrelevant, that you really shouldn't work hard, that street smarts is more important than regular intelligence and all this stuff. I want to give a shout out to somebody. So, you know how you hear these stories about these kids that, oh, he got like a perfect score on his SATs, you know what I mean? But they really didn't actually get a perfect score on SATs. They just whatever. So I have a younger brother. He's about 14 years younger than me, actually. He literally got a perfect score on his SATs. He got 1,600 SATs. He went to Wharton, and just this nicest guy on the face of the earth. He's just wouldn't hurt a fly. Just does his work. Just super intelligent kid. Whatever it is. He wanted to. He liked sports, and I always joked with him. I said, "Listen, the best job you can get, okay." You should judge your career choice on what kind of ticket you can get in that job, right? That's what I said, when I was like 20 and he was 6, pretty much. So he wanted to get into sports, and he got involved in some small little company that helped advise on team purchases and things like that. Worked out of Cherry Hill, and then about 12 years ago, he was poached by them, actually by the NBA. Like David Stern, when he was there, says, "We want David Haber to work for us at the NBA." So he worked in the finance department for the NBA for like 12 years. He was, he was just like that guy who just knew everything. And he was just, never really the social guy that would take people out to dinner, but he was always behind the scenes guy that knew how to crunch the numbers. He knew everything about all the collective bargaining agreements, stuff like that. And he was basically second or third to the CFO. And when I would want tickets, I reach out to him, and he was very straight laced. Like, I've only allocated certain tickets. He would, he's a real straight guy. And the actual CFO, like 2 weeks ago, took a new job, and they named my brother interim CFO of the entire NBA. And it's just really the most ridiculous thing on the face of the earth, So
That is unbelievable.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know if it's gonna, if they're gonna look for someone else or whatever it is, but for now, he literally is the CFO of actually the entire NBA.
That is absolutely.
I'm really proud of him. And it's so funny. When I saw him, we're at the Hamptons this last month. I'm like, so someone asked, so who's your favorite team? He's like, we're actually not allowed to have a favorite team. But that's like his answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
With the NBA regulations, we do not have a favorite team. And I'm like, okay. That's
Crazy.
So that's some good news. We're talking about some family stuff. That is some just insane news on the Haber front.
That's incredible, man. That's really cool.
Yep. Any other questions here?
Adam's asking about the owner, the pitching with so many extreme umpires and ownership. I don't know Taylor Garcia specifically. Which Taylor Garcia? Am I missing some people? Is there? I mean, is there a Taylor or Garcia pitching tonight that I somehow?
I don't know.
Is
that the umpire's name?
Oh, I guess that's who's the umpire he's talking about. Yeah, with Chris Sale, I'm not terribly concerned. He's not really a guy who has a ton of command issues. I think it's a huge benefit to Robbie Ray. I do actually prefer Robbie Ray to Chris Sale, which I mentioned earlier. Bueller's got an extreme pitchers umpire. Trip Gibson for Fried is good news against Baltimore. That's the one guy who I didn't play any of that I don't think I'm going to regret it too badly, because I don't think he's going to put up that crazy number, but it does feel like a good matchup. I don't have anything else really on that. I mean, you do have an extreme umpire against my Toronto team. Not terribly worried with this team. They're too good at hitters. So I actually didn't let the umpires affect me today as much as I usually would, for what it's worth. Let's see. I could see. I mean, yeah, you could argue that gives an extra boost to Robbie Ray over Chris Sale. That's pretty much all I've got though with that.
Yeah.
I don't really think that I think they're close anyway. Yeah, I do. I think they're really close actually. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else written in there. I just can't give too much credit to that. I really am just not going to do it today. Boy, every time in my lineup I try to rebuild something, I just end up with a different Toronto player, no matter what I do. Seems like.
All right, I guess I'm gonna, as the kids say, I guess I'm gonna dip. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
So good luck, everybody, and I'm sure I'll see you around.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck, Sheets.
Later.